with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for jumping on Facebook Live here for the Erie News NOWCAST. I'm Brissa Bradfield. Well, we start today with our top story of the day, coming off a day filled of storms yesterday. David, can we expect to see the same thing today?
Yeah, we're still looking at those storms. They are kind of moving back into the area. You can see over there towards Erie and into western parts of Erie County. The atmosphere just won't rain itself out. You can see some of those heavy areas of rain about ready to push back into the city. This part of the system's kind of weakened a little bit as it moves on into Crawford County, but we have some heavy areas of rain over there towards Greenville into Mercer County. So a little inspection here. You can see not really much out there towards Warren just yet, but some of those showers will definitely be coming your way after the heavy ones roll through this morning. And we continue to watch that flow come on in from the west. And it looks like we will get a little bit of a break, especially as we make that turn into the early afternoon, which is good and bad at the same time because it will give the atmosphere a chance to regenerate. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and it doesn't take long for these storms to return. And we'll look at Futurecast in just one moment here. But yeah, you can see that real heavy rain right now in the city of Erie. Give it about, let me see, about a minute, and it will start pouring here at the station. I can tell you that. And yeah, okay, do it. And you can see really through Mill Creek Township right now, we are getting the heavy showers right along the bayfront as well, and over there towards Presque Isle. So we're certainly watching a very active scene out there. Futurecast as we go through the rest of the morning. Again, those showers continue to move on through as we make that turn into the afternoon. We see those showers and some storms off towards the east. They'll continue to basically move out of the area. That will allow some sunshine to come on in. And that's certainly, see, I told you. Yeah, there you go. And we see during the middle afternoon hours that we're watching those showers to kind of redevelop. And some of these storms could certainly be severe. There's some extra energy in the atmosphere, but as we get deeper into the night, that is when those showers will try to fade on out, but we're still looking very unsettled as we get into your Friday. All right, the severe weather threat, you can see right now, it is more so for inland locations. That's where I'm expecting some of those stronger storms to try to flare up, and it's all based on what the rain is doing right now. And it looks like that line will kind of fade out. That line of showers will fade out, but that's basically like a mini cold front in the atmosphere, and that's going to kind of sit. And as the sun comes out during the early afternoon, those storms are going to fire up right along that boundary. So that's the reason why the slight risk has been pushed a little bit farther inland, those strong gusty winds and that isolated hail threat. We're looking outside down by the bayfront. The showers are certainly, oh, this is pretty cool. You can see the rain really coming on in. There's the edge of the rain right there, and you can trace it back over towards the west. So yeah, we're gonna get an interesting display down by the bayfront pretty soon as those showers keep moving on in. Right now, feel like temperatures, it's been muggy out there, but obviously the rain has been holding those numbers down just a bit. So it's still not comfortable even with those cooler temperatures. Weather impact index for today, we got more storms. Potential for strong damaging winds as we get into the afternoon. We've got the heavy rain coming down right now and still more heat and humidity, but I'll tell you when we finally switch over to some drier weather all coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, David. Well, the Food and Drug Administration is expected to approve booster shots for the immunocompromised today. And that's according to a source who's familiar with these ongoing talks. This will end up being a third shot for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, which currently are just 2 doses each. The FDA has not officially commented on this issue. It comes as health officials keep stressing the importance of getting vaccinated. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports more than 98% of Americans live in areas that are considered to have a high or substantial risk of community transmission of the virus. And meantime, the CDC has strengthened its recommendation for pregnant women to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The agency previously said, quote, if you are pregnant, you can receive a COVID-19 vaccine. Well, the new guidance is a firm recommendation for pregnant women to get vaccinated. The CDC says there are safety concerns for pregnant women who don't get vaccinated. Now they're at an increased risk of severe illness from COVID-19 and adverse pregnancy outcomes like preterm birth. The agency also shot down the myth that vaccines can cause fertility issues, saying that there is no data to support that claim. And new this morning, the Census Bureau is planning to release population data used to draw congressional and state legislative district lines today. It comes more than 4 months later than usual. Some states are already past their deadlines to draw new maps. Now that means many will have to hold special sessions in the fall focused on redistricting instead of handling it in the spring as usual. Census officials blame the pandemic for delaying the release of neighborhood-level data. The Census Bureau already released data in April showing which states will gain and lose congressional seats. The latest census shows Pennsylvania's population continues to lag behind the nation, decreasing for the 10th consecutive decade. So moving forward, Pennsylvania will now have 17 seats in the House of Representatives, with our number of electoral college votes dropping from 20 to 19. And switching gears now, with the hot temperatures we're seeing here at home, many folks are really cranking up that AC, but when everyone has their central air pumping through their homes, it can get pretty expensive, which is why spokesperson Todd Myers for Penelec is urging people to rethink their cooling habits, not only for their wallets, but for the good of the power grid as well. During the summer, those power grids work harder and heat up faster. That's why it's not uncommon on really hot summer days to see those grids fail, because not only are they heating up, but everyone is using their AC units all day long. A few simple tips, Myers says: if you are in a room, turn off that window unit AC. And for rooms you aren't using, shut the vents and cut off air conditioning from that room. For every degree you're able to turn your thermostat up, it saves roughly 3% on your electricity bill. And there's a little over a month left of official summer months, that is, and bugs seem to really be popping up everywhere. Mosquitoes and ticks, however, are especially prevalent and can actually pose a risk to your health. Now, just recently, we've seen reports of West Nile virus and mosquitoes that were found right here in Erie County. The health department says when going outside to areas with more wooded areas, that is, it's best to wear bug repellent. Also, to make sure buckets and toys are not filled up with water in your yard. Now, that can also attract mosquitoes. Director of Environmental Health Services, Brianna Adams, tells Erie News Now when you should be concerned about West Nile virus.
Be bit by a mosquito and start to experience flu-like symptoms or an extreme headache, then you should contact your doctor for testing for West Nile.
Now, Adams says this time of year is always bad for mosquitoes, but with these hotter temperatures we've been seeing and the amount of rainfall we've been getting, that's why we are seeing more of them. And the Warren County Fair is underway, and while the rides and food are a really big part of any fair experience, the agriculture is really what the fair is all about. This week, showmen of all ages are showing off their skills, everything from handling the animals to market size. After the fair being canceled last year, competitors were definitely ready to get back into the show ring. Now, we checked in with different types of contestants, all of them working rather hard to make sure their animals are ready for showtime. One former 4-H leader tells us that kids learn so much more than just how to work on a farm.
It's not just farm work, it teaches them how to work at any work. And they tell me that if they're going to interview for a job, if they come from a farm, they know that they'll work, that they'll put through the hours and the effort and whatever and get the job done because they've been raised to do that.
And that's not all the animal shows at the fair this week. For a complete lineup of everything going on, you can find that on our website. And we are bringing meteorologist David back in. David, you say you're not a magician, but the rain started literally 1 minute after you said it was going to.
Yeah, I mean, it was starting to edge its way into the area, and we've had a couple of heavy bursts of rain. And looking out over the lake right now, over the bay, I noticed a boat going on by. I'm sure that person's trying to zip back to a drier location. And we are certainly looking at more rain as we continue over the next couple of hours. And right now you can just see that red stripe right across Erie, Presque Isle, down there into a green township out towards Wattsburg. And we've got some moderate rain coming back up Interstate 90. So this morning has certainly turned out to be pretty wet overall. We'll keep an eye on the back edge of the shower activity. A lot of lightning being reported around the Cleveland area. They have really had some nasty storms out that way. And again, you can kind of see how the atmosphere is just not letting up. Part of this complex trying to fall apart. You can see the heaviest rain right over Erie right now, and also a heavier shower moving on into Mercer County. Those heavy showers that we saw earlier are starting to pass through McKean County. All right, I'm going to give you another look at Futurecast because I feel like I kind of zipped through the activity during the afternoon. This is when we kind of rejuvenate the atmosphere a bit, and here is when the storms start to show up, and you can see they could be close by the lake shore around 4 o'clock or so, and that's actually the first pitch for the Seawolves doubleheader. And as we progress towards the evening hours, late afternoon, I think the storm threat is going to be highest for areas like Corey, towards Tidiute, Sheffield, Warren as well. We have the flooding risk and also the risk of very, very strong winds. And then once again, the showers, they're returning as we get later into the overnight, maybe some heavy rain to start off your Friday. And as we look into the afternoon, there you go, more storms flaring on up. And things, I can tell you this, they will finally settle down as we get into the weekend. Let's take a look at that extended outlook. And you can see over the next several days, we are still up there with the mugginess. We've got Saturday, 76 degrees, a bit cooler, certainly more pleasant overall, 60 degrees to start off your Sunday. Looking good overall. Temperatures will warm back up and storm chances start to go back up just a little bit Tuesday into Wednesday. But in the meantime, make sure you're staying cool and make sure you're staying dry as well, Brissa.
All right, thanks, David, and thank you all for jumping onto Facebook Live and joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Our next broadcast is coming up at noon on WSE. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.